Being an NBA point guard looks like a dream: handles, highlights, and hero status. But behind the glitz is a ruthless grind, non-stop film, constant pressure, and zero room for error. One mistake, and you're trending for all the wrong reasons. From playground to proving ground, the unending pressure. From the moment you first grip a basketball on cracked asphalt, the path of a point guard is set in motion. In childhood pickup games, you're the one doing out passes to teammates who chase your lead. A missed bounce pass earns laughter. A crisp feed draws cheers. By middle school, you're running simple pick and rolls, eager to prove yourself. In high school, coaches hand you the offense and expect you to call each play. No more fluke shots. Every practice rep, every on-court decision now carries weight. When college scouts arrive, they don't just watch for your scoring. They time your dribble speed, chart your turnover rate, and study how quickly you reset after mistakes. One bad performance in a showcase tournament can erase weeks of praise. The pick and roll that worked like magic against your local rivals falls apart when defenders smother your screen reads. But those mistakes also become highlights on recruiting blogs, fueling criticism well before you set foot on campus. At the next level, the film room becomes an arena of its own. Coaches rewind every poor pass, slow-moing each missed angle. "Look at your eyes," they say. "You telegraphed that drive." Under that scrutiny, the simple joy of making a play begins to fray. You learn to replay each turnover mentally on the bus ride home, wondering if that single lapse will haunt your draft stock. Then comes the leap to the pros, or the G League. Summer workouts pitch you against guards who were the top picks in the draft classes. Every dribble feels 10 times heavier under NBA gym lights. Front office executives sit courtside, notebooks open, ready to chart your every statistic. A single misread can lead to an angry text from your agents. "They noticed that one." The weight of the playbook. Complexity meets chaos. As a pro point guard, you're handed a playbook thicker than most novels. Dozens of core sets, pick and roll variations, horn action, dribble handoffs, slip screens, each with half a dozen options. Every call comes with code words, hand signals, and sometimes visual aids on tablets. Summer League taught you basic spacing. Now you juggle advanced reads in real time. In training camp, chalkboard sessions last hours. Coaches diagram DHO, dribble handoff counters, and zone buster sets. You underline every detail, but memory alone isn't enough. On day one, you learn a new system. Now switch terminology. Spoke A becomes Whisper Alpha. Your head spins, but you nod, hoping real-time reps will cement the concepts. Then the season starts. You step on court, cue in earbuds, and see the play call flash on the wristband. Trip for golden, right. You sprint to the break side, set the screen, then read the bigs drop, the help defender's angle, and the corner shooter's position. In a split second, you choose drive, kick, or pull up. If you hesitate, the defense locks you down. Mid-game adjustments add fresh chaos. Your coach switches from man to zone, adds a blitz after your screen, or fakes a press trap in the backcourt. Meanwhile, opposing point guards run similar milked-out actions. Your mind races. Is this coverage A or B? Should I slash or reset? Hear a wrong call, heat check, but there's no reset. You improvise, hoping instincts override fear. Late in games, timeout huddles become crash courses in micro adjustments. When they corner trap, angle to number 3 instead of forcing baseline. Got it? Got it. But your heart thumps like a drum as you sprint back. One misread here can spark a fast break dunk against you. Ball in both hands, leadership without safety net. As the offense's anchor, the point guard lives in a fishbowl. Teammates look for your voice before the jump ball, scanning to see where you point before they move. Coaches expect you to spark energy, orchestrate sets, and steady the team when the game slips away. If the offense struggles, you wear the blame publicly, even if the shooters miss open shots or big men get pushed off in the post. Leadership never rests. On travel days, you lead film sessions, calling out mistakes in pre-game review. In shoot-around, you set the tone with drills, pushing teammates to match your effort. If someone slumps, you offer encouragement, but also honest feedback. "Keep your feet set under you, man," you might say. No sugarcoating, everyone respects the truth. But that respect demands that you share in the pain when things go wrong. After a tough loss, you're feeling pressed questions. How can you get this offense moving? You shoulder the weight, knowing your answers shape narratives for days. Offer the wrong soundbite, and social media explodes. Teammates might disagree in private, but they rally publicly because you're the point guard. In the locker room, the vibe changes with every turnover. Teammates glance your way for leadership, even if they know the ball didn't come their way. If the coach barks at the team, eyes shift to you. "Contain the ball," he says. You nod, but the reality is everyone shares blame, yet you bear it most visibly. This role breeds isolation. Your family texts after losses, but on the court bench, you sit alone, replaying bad possessions in your head. You can't hide in the crowd. You're front and center. Some nights, you pause by the film room door, debating whether to review every angle at midnight or get scarce rest for tomorrow's game. Rest tips the scale either way, caught slacking or too tired to lead. The statistical gauntlet, every pass counts. In today's game, the point guard's worth hinges on numbers: assist totals, assist to turnover ratio, true shooting percentage, PER, plus minus, each metric broadcasts your value. A single turnover lowers your ratio. A missed layup dents your efficiency charts. Analytics departments track you on every possession, comparing you to every league point guard before you. Before tip-off, you know your targets. Shoot above 52%. Assist at least 6 times. Keep turnovers under 3. Hitting those benchmarks can earn praise. He's a floor maestro! But missing them flips the script. Chucker, inefficient, poor decision-making, one bad streak, and your minutes shrink. Teams dissect every action. They chart your screen assists, how often you pass off the ball just after setting a pick. They note your secondary assists. Passes that lead to assists, they tally your hockey assists. If your numbers rise, you're a modern game hero. If they drop, you're a scapegoat. Analytics even shape your style. If you drive and kick too late, your helper can't rotate in time, and the defensive rating spikes. You adjust, but new data surfaces. Your pull-up percentage isn't as high as league leaders. The next film session shows corner 3 makes versus attempts, and you spend extra hours at practice drilling catch and shoot. Yet every improvement brings fresh scrutiny. He's reckless attacking the rim too often, so you refine again. In media interviews, you're asked about advanced stats. How do you feel about your assist to turnover ratio this month? You answer diplomatically, but inside, you know analytics can reward or ruin you overnight. Agents and general managers pore over your numbers, deciding if you're a trade assets or a rebuild piece. Invisible battles, mental fatigue, and scrutiny. Every night before you step on court, the ghosts of every pass turnover and late-game mistakes swirl in your mind. Film sessions replay those moments in brutal slow motion. You sit in a dim room with headphones, watching your worst reads 10 times over while coaches point out every flaw. That one misread pick and roll becomes proof that you lack vision. You learn to cringe when you hear the whistle, fearing another replay of a blown assignment. Off the court, social media mobs await your next slip-up. A single bad pass clips across timelines in seconds, accompanied by mocking gifs and brutal captions. Even when you post a highlight, the comment section floods with snark. Chucker, where's your B game? You scroll through replies after games, watching strangers judge every choice you made in real time. It chips away at your confidence, forcing you to pause before each decision. What if I mess up again? Yet you carry an unshakable face in public. During shoot-arounds and press conferences, you smile and sound confident, hiding the knots in your stomach. Fans expect calm under fire, but that mask requires extra hours of mental prep. You call it visualization, seeing yourself execute the perfect drive or deliver the crisp assist. When doubts surface, you replay positive clips, a perfectly timed dime, a pressure-defying isolation bucket. You try to crowd out the negatives with those winning moments. Still, the weight never lifts. Off nights haunt you. You replay them on long flights, on bus rides between arenas. The simple act of spotting up for a catch-and-shoot 3 can feel like a test. Will you rise, or will the past catch up? At times, you hear your voice in your head, second-guessing every angle. Those internal whispers can slow your reads from fast to frantic, leaving you vulnerable to well-scouted traps. Mental fatigue adds up over a long season. Nights bleed into mornings when you lie awake, mind racing through scenarios and contingencies. You confide in veterans who share stories of their battles with doubt. They teach you breathing drills, mantras, and mental resets. You learn that the strongest players aren't those who never fail, but those who pick themselves up faster after each fall. Nightly showdowns, adapting to constant change. One week, your team runs pick and roll on steroids, 3 layers of screens, every spacing choreographed to the millisecond. Next, it's a positionless offense where big men float on the perimeter and cutters roam freely. Coaches change, and with them come new terms. Heat delay, dribble replace, load whip, You master yesterday's code only to face a new system at shoot-around today. Summer League taught you basic sets. Training camp added advanced wrinkles, but once the season hits full stride, you meet fresh challenges every game. A head coach's sudden firing brings an interim who believes in speed offense, one where you push in transition more than you run half-court plays. You scramble to learn the new pace, watching film until your eyes blur. Trades and injuries reshuffle your roster mid-season. The shooting guard you relied on for corner 3 moves on, replaced by a rookie who spaces awkwardly. The power forward season ends in injury, and now you need to find ball handlers in unexpected spots. You adjust your reads, seeking new outlets. Where you once looked for a dunk threat, you now hunt for a crafty passer. That adaptation happens on the fly, often during live games. League rules shift too. A tweak in hand-checking enforcement means you can no longer use the same tools to bully defenders off ball. A change in foul interpretation forces you to rethink how you attack closeouts. You stay up on memos from the league office at midnight. Sometimes it feels like rule changes arrive faster than you can incorporate them. Even opponents morph overnight. Today, you face a veteran point guard who thrives on mid-range pull-ups. Tomorrow, a rookie who bombs from deep. Your scouting report fills pages with tendencies. Shooter fades left 78% of the time, hesitates on double teams, but once you're on the court, you must adjust instantly. Drive to the help side here, pull back for the pocket pass there. Between tip-off and final horn, you switch mental gears dozens of times. Zone defensive man, horn set to dribble handoff, secondary break to motion set. You carry the responsibility of translating every new call into action, guiding teammates and shushing doubts. Your voice cracks during long road trips, but you keep directing traffic because the offense only hums when you adapt seamlessly. Wear and tear, physical and career longevity. Every pass you make demands precision, muscle memory. After thousands of long-distance chest passes, your shoulders ache. Rotator cuffs throb each morning, a reminder that precision comes at a cost. Tiny micro tears from late-night film workouts and live scrimmages gradually build into a nagging pain you learn to ignore. Your knees tell a similar story. Chasing lightning-quick wings in full-court press drills strains ligaments and grinds cartilage. During early season 5-on-5s, you leap, land, and pivot without thought. By mid-season, small twinges force you to adjust footwork. You learn to warm up meticulously, loose bands, jump rope, hip circles, just to run your usual crossover. Late surgeries and MRIs become part of your backstory. A pin in your thumb from an awkward fall, arthroscopic cleanup in your shooting shoulder, injections in a sore ankle before playoff games. Trainers know you by name. Ice buckets, electrical stim pads, acupuncture needles. Your daily routine includes hours in the training room for maintenance, not just repair. Yet fans only see the highlight dunks and no-look passes. They don't notice you favor a leg after a sprint. They don't see ice strapped to your wrist during halftime. The game's pace never slows for you. You play through soreness because the offense demands continuity. One game missed can cost momentum, both personally and for the squad. Over multiple seasons, the cumulative toll adds up. By year 5, you burn through more recovery days than you can count. Off-season shift from rest to strategic rehab, targeted strength work, loaded carries, anti-inflammatory diets. You trade late-night pizza orders for protein shakes and ground turmeric. Long career longevity becomes a balancing act. Pursue hard in training camp, and you risk a stress injury before the season even begins. Pull back too much, and you start the year rusty. You work with nutritionists to optimize recovery, incorporating sleep protocols and wearable trackers to monitor strain. But data can't fully guard against wear and tear. Only time can. Veteran guards remind you to pace yourself. They warn you about shoulder breakdowns in your early 30s or hip replacement in your late 30s. You nod. But every game feels like an urgent test. Can I still make the off-screen slip pass? Each successful performance is a victory over physical decline. Each injury, a warning that time is undefeated. The fleeting spotlight, praise and criticism. One night, you throw a dagger pass across the court, and fans erupt in a standing ovation. Social feeds light up with assist of the year debates. You replay the clip on your phone, savoring every view count and positive emoji. Amid the roar, you feel untouchable until the next game. In the following matchup, a defensive lap turns into an easy layup for your opponent. Cameras catch your slumped shoulders as the crowd groans. Instantly, highlight reels of your turnover surface. Worst pass of the week! Sports show juxtapose the bright assist and the sloppy giveaway, framing you as both hero and villain in 48 hours. That volatility breeds unease. You never know which version the public will see. the wizard who commands the floor, or the chugger who can't protect the ball. During shooter rounds, you sometimes catch glimpses of broadcast graphics. SGA ranks 3rd in assist potential. PGX ranks 9th in turnover avoidance. In one breath, you're lauded for creativity. In the next, you're criticized for risk-taking. Media narratives shift fast. A clutch three-pointer drives headlines like "Rising Star." A missed open shot invites "cold-blooded." More like cold-blooded. Pundits dissect your every expression. Eyes too downcast after a loss, too cocky after a win. Even your choice of post-game outfit or shade of shoelaces becomes a talking point. Social media accelerates the cycle. Viral memes lampoon your hairline or your shooting form. One day, you're trending with a positive hashtag. The next, you're painted as an overpaid game manager who can't close out games. Followers pour in after big performances, then drift away after rough patches. That fleeting spotlight feels like a curse. You crave recognition. You need it to feel confidence, yet you know it's temporary. You chase consistency, not acclaim. But critics reward only highlight moments. You learn to block out the noise, focusing on internal goals. Hit your free throws at 85%. Limit turnovers, and run the offense with control. Being an NBA point guard means striding a tightrope without a safety net. Equal parts artistry and torment as you navigate every screen, crunch time, and statistic. Night after night, you blend tactical vision and raw grit under unforgiving lights. Which hidden struggle would you fear most? The mental grind, the analytics pressure, or the physical toll?